Hello, friends. Okay, today we have a whiteboard. We have a list currently being obscured by a reusable Whole Foods bag. We have me. I'm standing up. Am I standing up because my back hurts? Yes, but also you need to feel the energy of what I am going to talk to you about. Today, we're going to talk about, hold on, okay. Today, in this episode of Loved and Listened to, we're going to talk about handling toxic foolishness. Okay? Handling toxic foolishness. We're going to talk about the do's and the don'ts of handling the kind of foolishness that is toxic that comes from people who are both toxic and foolish. And you know it's going to happen to you. Do you think, because I get on Obama's internet and post YouTube videos to my over 300 subscribers, that foolishness and toxicity does not find me? It does. It does. It finds me nonetheless, and I hate it. Okay. So, backstory. A couple of days ago, I encountered a former friend who just pulled all the toxic foolishness that they had in storage. They pulled it out and they tried to dump it on me. That is not cool. That is not cool. This person tried to do a little gaslighting, a little sprinkle of some gaslighting, some flat out lying, some flat out blaming, some flat out not taking responsibility for their own actions. But really, this advice applies whenever you are met with toxic foolishness or foolishness that is toxic, whatever the story is, okay? I'm making this video because I think my therapist would be so proud of how I handled the situation. So the next time you're being confronted in whatever the situation may be with someone who is not portraying a level of adultness that you think that you deserve, if that person is not participating in a normal kind of conflict resolution, if that person is being clearly delusional and hateful and saying mean things to you in an attempt to make you mad and pull you into their toxic foolishness, these are the things that you don't do. And then I'll tell you some things that you should do. Let's start with don't. Okay, do not. Number one, do not argue back. No, don't do that. Don't do that, okay? Let me tell you why. If you are dealing with a person who is committed to being mean and hateful and not seeing how they participate in whatever the situation is, that person is toxic and foolish, and it does you no good at all to argue back with them. Why? Because they are not listening to you, okay? They're not listening. They don't care. If you're trying to be reasonable, trying to be polite, trying to be nice as best you can to diffuse the situation, and they are just committed to toxic foolishness, your commitment will not override their commitment to being toxic and foolish. So do not waste your time and your energy arguing with people who are committed to being toxic and foolish, okay? That's number one. Don't do it. See up here I wrote do not. These do not, okay? Number two, this one is hard to do, but do not take it personal. Don't do it. Let me tell you why. If you're dealing with a person who is toxic. That is something that is happening on the inside, okay? You would walk over to your local city dump, right? Where they put the trash, and walk up to like a discarded apple core and be like, hey, why have you been discarded? Why are you so nasty and dirty? That's just the parameters in which they operate. That's just what it is. That's just the reality for that person and for that apple core. But does that mean that you did it to them? No. Maybe you did. And maybe this video is not for you. But if you didn't, then don't take it personal. This is almost impossible to do. I know, because I had to go through mental gymnastics and journaling myself in order to not take how this other person was acting, to not take it personally. Okay? I know it's hard to do, but you can do it. Number 3, do not try to help. Try to help. Do not try to help. If you are dealing with a person, okay, who is dedicated to being toxic and foolish, your efforts to help will, number 1, be in vain most likely, because circling back to numbers 1 and number 2, they are not listening to you and they are dealing with their own stuff, okay? So you come in trying to help with your not toxic foolishness. You think you're going to help? Back to the apple core, back to the dump. You go over there to the dump, okay? And you find a dirty mop bucket. You go over there and you clean out that one dirty mop bucket. What have you done? You've spent your time and your money and your cleaning supplies and your energy being at the dump. You're still at the dump. The dump is going to be the dump, okay? You have done almost nothing. Consider the size of a dump. You go over there being clean and being nice. You cleaned up 0.00001/2% of the dump. You've done nothing but waste your own time and your own energy. Okay, I'm going to tell you what to do instead here in a minute. But remember, do not try to help. I know that sounds harsh and mean, but you'll see here in a minute. Stay with me. Okay, number four. Do not try to reinitiate contact out of guilt. If you are like me and you are at least somewhat of an empathetic person, you want to help people, you want to start a YouTube channel and tell the world how to deal with their egotistical bullshit, you want to hug everybody and sing kumbaya and hold hands and all that bullshit, you might feel guilty if you don't do these things. If you don't argue back, participate in the bullshit, if you refuse to take it personally, or if you tell yourself, you know what, I cannot help this, you might feel guilty because maybe you care about that person, you love that person, and so you start feeling guilty, and you know what you're going to do if you don't listen to me? You're going to try to reinitiate contact, okay, out of guilt. No, don't do it. Don't do it, because that means you just drive yourself back over there to the dump. And guess what? The dump is still dirty and stanky, and it's going to be that way. It's going to be that way, okay? It's just accept it. Move on. Okay, let's move on to what to do. Okay, we're back. Perhaps I can deliver this half of the video in a bit of a calm state. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know how calm I am about this, so we'll see. Okay, so what do you do in a toxic and foolish situation? What are the things that you should do instead of the things I told you not to do? Okay, number 1, stay calm. Reacting negatively in a negative situation is very, very always useless. Always useless. Am I telling you to be a doormat and let people talk to you any kind of way and do you any kind of way, like the old people used to say? Absolutely not. But people who are very dedicated to being toxic, mean, hateful, not taking responsibility for their own actions, those kind of people thrive on getting a rise out of other people. They get a kick out of knowing that they hurt your feelings or they made you upset or whatever. If you really want to be the most untouchable person that you know, this is how you do it. 2 words: stay calm. Whatever is happening, even if you get to the point where you have to physically defend yourself, hit somebody with calm, with a smile on your face. If you watch like Jackie Chan or like some awesome, really great fighter, they're not like doing all of this extra stuff. They're not exerting energy, cussing, and like all this crazy stuff. They are very calm. They might hit you in the throat and make you pass out, but they did it very calmly. There is so much value, and more value than I can explain to you in a YouTube video. There is so much value in remaining calm in almost every situation. Every situation, you can think more clearly. You can be in touch with yourself. You can be in touch with your own emotions. You can see what you can control, which is usually only yourself. But if you remain calm, you can see what you can control. You can see what you cannot control. And you can put distance between what you cannot control and what you can control in instances where the situation is toxic and foolish. Stay calm. Okay, do it. Stay calm. Number two, talk to a non-toxic person. For me, oftentimes, that person is my mother. So, whoever that person is for you, if you don't have that person, remove yourself from the situation and go write about it. Go journal, but remove yourself from the situation. But if you have someone in your life that you can talk to who is level-headed, who is calm, who cares about you, but does not encourage toxic foolishness. Now, don't call, okay? Listen, I'm talking to you. Do not call another toxic person and describe a toxic situation to them, because they'll just add drama. These kind of people, they operate in like heat seeking. They're seeking out drama all the time. They're looking for it like a drone flying overhead. Where's the drama? Where's the drama? Let me find it. If I can't find it, let me create it. No. So don't call another toxic person. Call a non-toxic person, like a non-toxic cleaner, like some nice Dawn dish soap. Call the Dawn dish soap of a person that you have in your life who can help you clean up your thoughts and clean up how you're thinking and how you're feeling, but without adding extra irritation. Okay, I think that's a fabulous example that just came to my head. All right, talk to a non-toxic person. They can help you calm down. They can help you stay calm. They can help you with seeing what you can do, what you can control. Very helpful, these kind of people. Number 3, examine yourself. If you've been watching this channel for a while, you probably know that I was going to say that. Okay, so hopefully your non-toxic person can help you with examining yourself. What do I mean by examine yourself? I mean examine how you have participated in whatever the situation is, okay? Now, don't take that the wrong way. Sometimes, like, people just are jerks. and you didn't really participate in the situation. But you usually, almost always, unless you're like in a horror movie, you have a choice to leave the situation or to distance yourself, okay? And that is when you can figure out when to do that by examining yourself. It's even better if you get to the point where you have a relationship with your own psyche and with yourself and understanding yourself, that you are almost constantly examining your own thoughts, your own feelings. That's called being self-aware. But if you're not self-aware yet, that's okay. You take some time, you put some space between you and the person or the situation. You call your non-toxic person and they will help you, or through journaling. But also journaling, you can examine how you have contributed to the situation. In my personal situation, I'm going to be vulnerable and tell you guys right now. In my personal situation, I got to the point where I was tolerating bad behavior from this person for years. And because I was feeling guilty, I continued to do so. And the other day, when the shit hit the fan, so to speak, I just thought, you know what? No. No thanks. No. I stayed calm. I talked to my non-toxic person, which is my mother. I examined myself. I did some journaling. I distanced myself from the situation. I did journaling before I made this video. And also part of my self-examination is also making this video, because I am telling you about like a thing that happened to me in real life, almost in real time. And I'm telling you what I did wrong. And that is a big part of self-awareness. If in your mind, everyone else is always the aggressor and you're always the victim, you need to work on your self-awareness. So I'm telling you, in this case, I tolerated BS for years for private reasons, but for years I did. And I felt guilty. And then the other day, I don't know, just something just like clicked and no thank you. And so now I can tell you about how to handle this. And I'm telling you how to handle this with some calm, because I feel like because I did not argue back with that person, I stayed calm, I just blocked them, I was able to control my experience of the situation and not make it more traumatic for myself than it had to be. Because the person I was dealing with got to the point where they were saying mean things about me, and that's not very nice. I didn't want to hear mean things about me. I'm fantastic. All right, number 4. That last part was a joke, but also not a joke. Okay. Number 4, redirect your energy. What to do when you're handling a toxic person, toxic situation. Redirect your energy. I just kind of described this, but because I was able to pull back my energy from being all in a whirlwind of BS and foolishness, because I did that, I instead had time to call my non-toxic person, do my own journaling, and now I have time to make this video. And I can make this video in a less angry state than I would have been, because I took some time to redirect my energy. If I had continued to argue and engage and say mean things back to that person and all of that stuff, that would have drained my energy. And also, fighting back in this negative way is not aligned with who I am and who I want to be. I am not a doormat. I am not a pushover, too nice kind of person for the most part, but I am a person who really, really, really values my time. And I very much value my energy and what I decide to do with it. As I get older, I understand that we have a very, very finite amount of time and a finite amount of energy. It's very important to direct it towards things that matter and that can help other people. And for me, things that are aligned with some level of kindness, goodness, as small as it can be. And for me, I think that it is important to also redirect good, kind, nice energy to yourself. And that might mean separating yourself from whatever toxic foolishness might be going on that you cannot control. A lot of times you can't even influence it. So we're not doing that, okay? So I hope that this was helpful to you. I hope that me going through that situation and now making this video about it, spread some goodness and stuff. Share this video with a friend. You have a friend who's toxic, or you have a friend who's dealing with someone who's toxic, okay? So definitely share this video with a friend. Please consider subscribing and liking, engaging with the video so more people can see it. You know that people need to see this video. I know that you know. All right, I will see you in the next one. And as I say, namaste.